but it is Tech Talk time. So welcome GenRight Nation. It is January 11th, 2023, and it's your favorite subject and mine, Jeeps. So we'll give everybody a second to get on here, but I've got a bunch of good stuff for you already prepared for today. We're going to talk about it, and so stay tuned and share with your friends. Make sure that everybody is getting this information. We're doing it on both Facebook and YouTube live tonight, so hopefully all of you can hear us good, and we're all excited to talk to each other. As always, if you'd like to ask a question, you just type it in as a comment at any time during the show. I would suggest you do it sooner than later so that we've got the questions there, and then we've got people here to read these to me. So include as much information as you can, and then we will be ready to go, all right? So let's see. Featured product. I got a couple of things I want to show you. Let's see. These are brand new products from my friends over at Armadillo Gas Bag. This is a 1-gallon gas bag that includes a cool little funnel to help you pour it into your tank. And this little guy, what's really nice about it is that when you're all done with the gas, you just roll it up and tuck it away somewhere in your Jeep. So they are not made to go inside your vehicle, right? This is something that you want to tie onto the tire or onto the carrier or something like that. They're really nice. The cap is vented, that's why, so you don't want to have it inside. But they also make it in a 5-gallon version. So this is really nice. And again, this is from Armadillo. We don't sell these. This is just a buddy of mine. You can go online and find them. Armadillo bag. And they're readily available. This has a bladder inside, so they're really durable. And again, when you're done with it, you just roll it up and tuck it away. So unlike an empty gas can that's still big, this folds up real small. And if you're looking for this kind of a solution, this is a great one. Check it out when you get a chance. Okay. Any questions on that so far? Okay. All right. Today we are going to talk about a couple of things. Let's go. We're going to talk about corner guards. So a lot of you know that we've, on both the JK and the JL, we've added the new bezel for our Matrix taillights. And this is pretty exciting for us. They're in production now. I've got the first couple sets out that I just put on my Jeep, the Terremoto, and on Aftershock. So I've actually got Terremoto here that I want to show you a set of these on there. So we'll do that in just a second. I've also just done this last weekend another 500-mile overland trip in the Aftershock, and I want to show you guys a quick video over here. Looks like it's partway through, so we're gonna just start it where it is. Run over to Jamie's office and get his ass in here right now. Tell him I'm pissed. Okay, so there was a whole lot of really cool structures. In this whole area. This is out toward Red Canyon and the Trestle Bridge, which was Eagle Mountain Trestle Bridge. So this is north of Salton Sea. Some of those were the beginning. We're going to restart this right here. So I went with Josh from Trails Off-Road and a buddy of mine, Brad Bauman, who I grew up with, and his son. Here's us, ripping down the wash, having fun. We found a whole bunch of old structures. There's me, I climbed up to the top, and we did a bunch of exploring. It's just a fun, get out in the dirt and cruise around and check things out. These are old pits that they used to use to degrade the gold, and then we found cool rocks, and this little sand wash here was desert pinstriping at its best right here. So we were just kind of ripping around. I just wanted to give you guys a quick view of this. By the way, this was an open invitation. So if you, and this is great video of the EXS suspension just working. You can see how still the body is and the tires just going. Here's the trestle bridge. This is really cool. We took a couple shots there and then ripped back up the wash. There's Josh. That's the that's our 4-inch bolt-on suspension on Josh's Jeep there. It looks like it's working pretty good. He's got his GenRight tire carrier and his GenRight bumpers. Lots of canyons and stuff to explore. This is all like really, really cool. You know, of course, when you go on these trips, it's all about the people. But look at this. These are like really cool places to go and explore. So, yeah, we had a super nice fire. We cooked up a bunch of steaks on Josh's Scottle. And look at these vast views, you know, just out. We found big mines and stuff. And then, of course, this is kind of where we started at this stone house. By the way, this is, people leave stuff here. So you can come and camp in here. It's pretty rustic, I will admit. But there were a bunch of supplies and lanterns and all kinds of stuff in there. So pretty darn cool. Okay, so that's enough of that. Let's, I want to show you one other thing. This is just kind of a sneak peek, and that is, it's going to be something that we talk about next Wednesday, the 18th. You're not going to want to miss this, but let me show you a sneak peek right here. This is Jordan's original 4500 race car, and a customer of ours, Peter Doolin, who you guys know with Maximus, just bought this and refurbished it, and he is going to be racing at KOH with our own Jeff Perkins that all of you know as co-dog. So we're very excited to have this car back in the GenRight stable, and you know, we are really looking forward to having this thing back out and racing. If you remember, this vehicle was built with all off-the-shelf GenRight Legend suspension parts. So really near and dear to our heart, and we're great to have it back. So yeah, this is going to be exciting. All right, now we're going to head over and we're going to look at those corner guards. So let's check that out. Have we got any questions yet? I haven't seen anything yet. All right, well, let's come on over here and let's work on, I want to show you what we did with the corner guards. All right, so as you know, from the Real Hammers Experience number 2, Jamie had driven over this corner guard, and it just happens that it was time for us to put on our new corner guards anyways. So we're going to change from the round tail light to our new square matrix tail lights, and this is a pretty easy switch. It's a direct bolt over from our other corner guards, and I just did a small bit of trimming here, and this fit right on. Now, what I want to talk about is both JK and JL. There are corner guards out there that have the cutouts for the factory lights. But what that does is it makes the corner guard really, really weak. So not only do you need to have it solid, but then we weld in this bucket that goes through the corner guard, and it's 1/8 inch thick, as thick as the corner guard itself. So it's really important to beef up the strength in this. So this is I'm really excited about running these. It's the new look for both JK and JL. So this is going to be awesome. So anyways, I'll get this wrapped and everything matching, and then I'll have this out at the Hammers over the next few weeks, because we're only 2 weeks away from leaving for KOH. So things are really rallying around here. So pretty exciting time. All right, so let's head back over and we can answer some more questions. How are we doing there, Jennings?
Well, so they can hear us now, and I'm seeing who's logged on. We got Josh, Angel, Muniz, Dylan, Markey, Summer Ann, Robert Weeder, Mark Haynes, Jeanette Halfley, Dylan Markey. Everybody saying hi.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, were they not able to hear us at first?
I don't know. Maybe they can hear us very loudly, maybe. I'm not sure.
They can just hear us good,
We're
perhaps?
having sound testing today.
Okay. So hopefully everybody's able to hear me the whole time, or they've just missed out on a lot of material.
There's one question from
Sure.
Angel Muniz asked, did y'all stop production of the corner guards for stretch 2-door JKs?
We did not stop the production on that. You need to call in to get those. That is not something that we just sell on the website. I offer those a couple different ways. I offer them as, I think it's a 3 or a 5-inch stretch, and then I offer a blank. So if you're interested in those, that is a call-in only item. So there's a lot of those, guys. Like if you're on our website and you don't see it, you need to pick up that phone. I got 7 people here to answer questions. Like, don't even hesitate, get on the phone.
Steve Bird says he wouldn't mind your pull-off corner guards.
Okay. I don't know, they're pretty worked over, but I appreciate that.
Ari says, are those new tires on Terremoto?
They are very observant. Those are brand new Mickey Thompson Baja Boss stickies on top of that, stickies. And I don't know if you guys happen to notice, but there was a brand new set of wheels on there too. Can we go look at that real quick? So these are, sorry for the dirty center hub, but that is the brand new Raceline Avenger wheel. And these, I've been looking forward to getting these on. I got the color matched really nice with the Terremoto. And you could tell they're new because of the brand new beadlock rings. So I'm super excited to get out and run on these. So yeah, very observant. I appreciate that. That's good stuff. What else we got?
A little maybe off topic, but Daryl asked, do you mount seats to the floor or to the cage?
So it depends. Almost always, the mounts are still to the floor. We do have some customers that have adapted mounts over to the cage. That's certainly possible. But what we do is we build the cage to support the whole occupant compartment. And unless you're going racing, then the rules actually require us to do it differently. But for the most part, what people are doing in their Jeep recreationally is more than enough, because the seat belts are actually put to the cage, and the seat belts are what's holding you in the seat. Hopefully that makes sense. What else you got?
Off-topic question from Kevin Kerwin. Do you guys have any specific customer events for EJS? We are planning our trails and want to make sure to leave time for some GenRight events.
We in years past, we have done a special day out at Area BFE. I don't know if we'll be able to do that again this year. I've got a bunch of sponsor obligations, but I'd really like to put together a customer run. So stay tuned on that. I'll be honest, Easter Jeep Safari is like light years away for us. I've got a number of events, including the one that I just did last weekend, that are between now and KOH. And then KOH, by the way, is bigger than all the rest of the events put together in the entire year. So a lot of our focus has to, like this entire facility is focused on that. So there's a tremendous amount of energy that goes into that. And if you don't know what KOH is, you should. That is the biggest, the greatest off-road event in this entire country. And do a little bit of homework. You can type in my name on Google and you will see all kinds of stuff on me come up for KOH. It is a big deal. And in the off-road industry, it is the ultimate proving ground. And we've dedicated a lot of energy toward it because as you've seen, we had Jordan's original race car that we raced in the modified class. We had Terremoto that I raced in the 4400 class. I mean, if you can build something that will hold up out there, man, you have got the ultimate product, and that's what we've proven, year after year. So we're pretty excited about KOH. What else you got?
Speaking of cages, is the TJ Fastback still an option if we call in?
You can call in. What I do is, if something is not currently in production, I have my sales guys make a list of those products that people are asking about, and we can, if there's enough demand, we bring them back. Okay, so TJ Fastback cages still exists. It is not in stock, And if we had enough people looking for it, we could certainly bring it back for sure. Yep.
Okay, here's a question. How does the GenRight tire carrier mount with the JKU corner guards? I saw how the hinge side would fit, but wondering about bracket on driver's side. I already have your aluminum tire carrier mounted and looking to get corner guards and fenders next.
Okay. If you go to the JK tire carrier and corner guards section on our website, we have weld-on brackets. I can actually show you right here. So I always tell you guys about our smart search right here. So if we go, all I did was type in tire carrier, right? So now it's going to pull up all the results for tire carrier. So anything related. So if you have a JK, what you want is this JK weld-on bracket kit, and this replaces the latch side. So tip it back a little more. Is that better? So if I show you this here, you can see the brackets are now, instead of putting on our regular latch plate over the top of the corner guard, you actually weld the brackets onto the corner guard, and it's really secure. Now you're actually distributing the load of the entire tire carrier over the whole corner guard. So it's a fantastic way to do it. So yeah, I think that kit was 29 bucks. So if you're going to order the corner guards, make sure you get that. And you could use that same kit on the JL, by the way. So yeah, anyways, good question. What else you got?
KS Durham said, it was great meeting you at the shop today. Will the corner guards restrict fitment of various aftermarket fender flare options and heavy-duty aftermarket tailgate hinges?
Okay, that's a great question too. So can we go back over? Let's go back over here, and I'll show you a couple things. So the way that we do the corner guards is always, and you know, this one is not bolted on, but you can kind of get the idea. What we do is we leave a gap right here. So it'll fit the stock fender flares, our fender flares, other aftermarket fender flares, but because the fenders on a JK or a JL fit in this pocket that's in the body. So this would actually sit up a little bit more like that, and then you'd see the reveal that it sits inside of, right? So sorry, I know this is a little rough because I don't have it all bolted on, but that gives you the idea. But that's a great question. We get that quite often. Eventually, we will offer corner guards that are made a little bit different, like we do for the two-door JK, where the flare goes up on top of the corner guard. But guys, I have 100 brand new products in development right now, and that's somewhere near like 90. So right now we've got our plate full, and we're still working on all this stuff. So, but great question. What else you got?
Your mom said she just heard that the DOT closed the Rubicon Trail. Is that true?
The Department of Transportation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt it. That's the Rubicon Trail is considered a county road, and it's been open. So unless, maybe somebody knows something I don't, but that's highly unusual. They're having a lot of bad weather up there, so I guess anything's possible. Maybe they were getting a lot of people up there and getting stuck.
Your co-dog Nick wants to know, can we buy one with Jamie's tire marks already on it?
Well, Nick knows the right guy, so yeah.
That's it for now.
That's it for now?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, keep firing those questions in, guys. We've got a lot going on, and by the way, let's go back over to the website. We just updated our events page. If you haven't noticed, I know we talked about that at the last Tech Talk, but I'm going to show you now. So you go under company.
60-day closure of the Rubicon.
Okay. You go under here, and then you go to runs and events. And then this shows you every event that we're going to. And by the way, when we're going here, this is like an open invitation to come wheel with us. Now, obviously Jeep Beach, other than driving on the beach, there's not really a lot of wheeling. King of the Hammers, we're racing there, but, please, by all means, stop on by. Jordan's got posters he's happy to sign. Tierra del Sol, Easter Jeep Safari. I mean, you just got to track us down, and we are ready to go wheeling all the time. And we, you know, I told you guys, I live, eat, and breathe off-road, and that's why I was just out last weekend. So we're going to be the Trail Hero. We've got our turkey run. You know, if you missed that this year, man, get that on your calendar and join us. We're there for a week. So there are lots of opportunities to get out and wheel. So that's a great one.
Dwayne Lewis asks, are you, Tony, running the 4,500 class?
I am not. No, I would really like to race again, but at this point in my career and what we have going on here, I'd rather support Jordan right now and in his efforts in his 4,400 car. And if you haven't seen the Lamborghini, that is a state-of-the-art, super high-tech race vehicle that is just incredible. Again, go over to our YouTube channel and watch video of Jordan's car on there. It is unbelievable, and he always places in the top 3 or 4 during qualifying. I mean, it's incredibly fast and capable. So, yeah, really good stuff. What else you got? Sure.
810JT asks, do you have a guide for doing your JK Elite suspension in stages?
Okay, that's a great question. Yes is the answer. What you need to do is you need to call in and talk to Andrew Harris. He is an expert in this based on where you are in your build, what you should do next. And he can absolutely step you through that. So he's one of my sales advisors here and, you know, great resource. So definitely tap into that.
And Craig Huffman asks, Auburn or Eaton electric locker preference?
Well, some of it depends on availability right now. I know the Eatons are kind of hard to come by. I know right now Curry is installing Auburns in all of our axles right now. I'm running Eatons, and but you know I was also able to get some. So both of them are good. You know, for a long time, the Eaton was a lesser design because it took like a quarter, half turn, or a full turn for it to engage forward or reverse. But they've since revised that. Their new 2-pin design is much quicker, and both are very reliable electric lockers. And you know, the trend is everybody seems to be going away from air lockers and going to the electric. Don't forget about the Eaton Detroit locker. That's one of my favorites as well. So depending on where you are, whether you need a selectable or not, all great options. Okay. Yeah, good.
Ginger said she can't hear the question, and I'm wondering if it was muted.
Is your mic muted?
Now, Ginger?
Was it muted? Don't turn that thing to mute. Like, just leave it.
Number 1 muted.
Okay,
Oh,
let's fix that. Thank you.
there we go. Sorry about that.
Ginger. Got it.
Okay, so I showed you guys the calendar. Let's go back to the website, and I want to show you the Tech Talk page.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Okay, so under company, right, here's the main page. You go to Tech Talk right here, and this opens up a whole new page, and this is your resource for a ton of information. So in here, each one of these is downloadable, and you've got everything from vehicle maintenance to tools, to your service log, to packing, shock settings, torque ratings, gear ratios. Feel free, these are all PDFs. You're not going to get any viruses. You can download these and print them out and keep them in your garage or in your Jeep. And these are huge resources. And we've talked about these on previous shows. And then, of course, we've still got some Tech Talk shirts in stock. There's some videos you can watch that Real Hammers experience that I was telling you about a minute ago. You can sign up here for updates and other stuff. And then, of course, down toward the bottom is all of the companies that support this Tech Talk that you all like to watch. So by all means, buy their products and reciprocate, right?
Lots of questions now.
Okay, what do you got?
Will you do a 4-link chassis for the 2-door JL or a stretch kit for the 2-door JL?
Okay, so we did an EXS for the JLL from Jeep Works in Florida. So it does exist. You're gonna have to call in. Talk to Andrew. When it comes to that stuff, Andrew is your resource here. So, and he's just at andrew.com, Andrew at GenRight.com too, if you just want to email him. But I'm telling you, don't be afraid to pick up the phone. You get a lot more done around here by picking up the phone and talking to somebody than you do by emailing. We're inundated with emails, and it's very hard for us to prioritize, who's for real and who's just fishing and asking questions. So if you call, then we know you're a lot more serious. So.
Angel Muniz asked, any specific modification requirements to wheel with y'all?
Oh, depends on where. So Jeff Perkins, who I told you is going to be racing in this KOH car, is your resource here for events. So that's Jeff at GenRight.com. You can email him, tell him the event you're interested in, what you're driving, and he'll be able to tell you yes, no, what trails you can join us on, what days would be better to join us on. So excellent question, and definitely reach out to Jeff, and he will be able to assist you on answering that. A lot of the time we can scale, like if everybody's coming to us and they're on 31-inch tires, we can just change what that looks like. By the way, like at an event like High Desert Roundup, which is in May, I also bring my little budget YJ that we call Aftershock, and that's on 33s or 35s, whatever it's got on there, and I'll wheel with you in that thing. Doesn't matter to me. I just want to get out and wheel. So.
Dave
right.
Thompson asked, if you run a 4-door JK with only the rear gas tank, what would you run for skid plates up front?
So that's a problem, right? That's why we make the Elite suspension with the flat belly, because the Elite replaces the 2 cross members. So, and then you can run our completely flat belly. I mean, if you're moving the gas tank, then you need to be going that direction. And we've got all those, you can do it in stages. All those Elite Kit builders parts are available on our website. So by all means, talk to Andrew Harris on our sales advisor desk, and he can guide you right through that and help you out. We did, hang on one sec, we did make a skid plate. Because we did have a customer that only did the rear tank. So if you just type in skid in the search box, you will see we offer a lot of stuff, engine skids, all kinds of stuff. If you note, it's hard to see, but we also have a next button here, so you can go to the next page. So don't forget that. Here's the skid right here. So this is a JK transfer case skid specifically for what you're talking about. Here's a picture of it installed. And we did this, man, I don't even know how many years ago. These are in stock. They're super thick. They're either 5/16 or 3/8 thick. You can see the factory cross member right there. And it protects your transfer case. So those are available too. And you can go to our website and check them out. It's, we always put the part number right here as well. So if I close this window, it's SKP 8700. The part number's right there. And if you want to type that into the search bar, it'll pop up. The search bar, you can put any part of the part number, any part of the description, anything, and just hit return, and it'll show you everything on our website. So we've got tons and tons of builder parts. I can't even begin to tell you. And then if you don't see it, there's more. Call in. So what else you got?
Josh Nesser asked, what is the difference between PSC and Howell Hydro Assist?
Oh, well, one's American and one's not. Let's start there. The other, How is very high performance. How is what you, if you're going to go racing, how is what you're putting in your vehicle. Their pumps, you know, the bearings they put in, the quality of the shafts, the seals, everything is race level, high temperature, you know, high volume, high pressure, like everything about it is the best. It's like the GenRight of steering. PSC, much more, you know, it's like import, run of the mill. You know, it's good for a lot of bolt-on applications. But if you're kind of past that bolt-on thing, then, you know, how is going to be the direction that you kind of want to lean. But if you're going to go how, you need to get a hold of us because not everything is available. How doesn't make a kit like PSC? They offer things, but it's a completely different kind of a company to work with. It's much more of a one-off, and we stock some of their products, so for our builds that we have here, and we know how to do it. And it's what I'm, you know, it's what's been run on Jordan's race car. It's been run on Terremoto. It's been run on my Aftershock. So there's a lot of that around here. Even Jordan's, you know, 4400 cars, Lamborghini has that on there too. What else you got?
Peter Doolin says, hi from Irvine, and I feel like I need to read this comment. He says, I'm sneaking in the tech talk from a meeting here. Don't tell anyone.
Nice.
We just
Very
told
nice.
everyone.
We just showed off your car. So Peter's very excited. He's kind of bummed he couldn't be here tonight, but he will be here next Wednesday, the 18th. Him, Jordan, myself, Jeff Perkins, we're all going to be here to tell you all about KOH, why you need to know what it is. I mean, it's going to be a great show and tell conversation, so you won't want to miss next Wednesday for sure. So what else you got, Jennings?
Off topic, on the TJ/LJ center console front plate with radio cutouts, any plans to redesign for the M1 race series? Current cutout is too large.
Okay, so you got a couple options. We sell those plates individually, so I would recommend that you get the blanks and modify to what you want to put in there. Those eventually, I got a ton of those in stock, so that have the radio cutouts. So that's going to be a while before we churn through those and get to the newer M1 for sure. Yeah, sorry about that. Just get the blank and do your own thing.
Philip Harmon asked, did the JK Elite Builder parts come with install instructions, or do you have to buy the kit complete to get them?
That's the deal. Yeah, that's a good question. Yes. If you are going after something as a builder, then you're on your own. We have no idea what parts you're Frankensteining together and mixing and matching, and we can't even begin to tech that. But you know, when you buy our complete kit, yeah, then you get exact instructions, lengths, widths, you know, everything, where to mount stuff, angles. But you know, that's because you're doing it exactly the way we would do it here, which is what I would recommend. So yeah, that's the, you know, you want to be the smart builder guy, then that's the direction you're going. So yeah, good question. What do you got?
Max from Reno said, big shout out to Andrew. I recently did the TJ to LJ frame kit on my 2006 LJ. He was always available to answer my questions and assist with ideas. The kit was easy to work with. Thanks, GenRight.
There you go. See, I told you, Andrew's a great resource. And by the way, you know, Andrew sits like 10 feet away from me. So if he's stumped, he just stands up and talks to me. So I've always got the answer for him.
Tammy says hi.
Hi. Is Kelly on? I didn't hear you mention Kelly.
Didn't see, but I got on a little later. We were having technical
Gotcha.
difficulties.
Okay. Well, hopefully
see any
we've got all of
comments
our
yet.
regulars. I really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. So that's awesome.
Alan asked if we could see the corner guards again.
Sure. Yeah.
Someone asked, are they available for sale now?
They are available for sale now, and delivery. Right. If you order today, delivery is 2 weeks. So I know that Alan is particularly interested in these because he needs a set. So Alan, we've switched over from our round taillight bucket to the new ones with the matrix taillight. And you can see that this bezel has been Frenched in and recessed and then MIG welded in place. And this really reinforces this corner. It's nice. The whole thing bolts on. It's got the extra lip. A lot of
Kelly's here.
A lot of the other companies, hey Kelly, don't do this extra feature on here. That adds a lot of strength, believe it or not. And then the way that we form this really fits the body well. And we've got lots of bolts to hold this in place. And we use all stainless steel hardware. So comes with button head stainless steel. And then you rib nut this in. And these babies are on there. And like I said, if you saw the Real Hammers Experience #2, Jamie literally ran over this entire part of my Jeep. So he ran over the corner guards, the fender, everything, and it all held up. So you know, we're building real stuff here. This is all American made, a really good quality product. So, and on top of that, it looks cool as heck. So how can you go wrong? Right? Did that answer Alan's question?
Yes, Tammy wants to know how and when you started this business.
How what?
How long have you been in business?
Sorry, I'm gonna close this door because the darn train. I started back in 2005. So, quite a few years.
Julio asks, when do you plan on bringing back Waldy from Puerto Rico?
Oh, that's a good question. The Waldy and I are trying to plan a trail run, like a whole experience out at the Hammers in March. So stay tuned. And as soon as we release that, if you've got our phone app, you're going to get first notice of that. And then it would also show up on our website. So I want to go into the phone app a little bit more. That's really important. If you're into GenRight and Jeeping, you need to have that app. Just download it from the Apple Store or the Android. So we support both platforms. That app has a whole GenRight Nation inside there where you can talk about each of the different platforms, CJ, YJ, TJ, LJ, JK, JL, JT, like all of them. And that's a super helpful tool. And you get advanced notifications on new products, on events, when we're at an event. So if you're there, we're like, hey, we're all over at In-N-Out, or we're gonna run this trail, you know, stop at the booth and we're gonna gather everybody up and take off. It's a super powerful tool for you to follow us and enjoy spending some time with us. So definitely download that app. What else you got?
Fred Eschen asked, or said, my LJ with 33's rub. Need to trim the rear fender. Not major, but I would need to remove the fender liner. Should I just ditch it, or is there a good aftermarket option?
Well, okay, on an LJ, right, he said?
Yeah.
Okay, on an LJ, tear that thing out. If you're worried about how it looks, you can get in there with a little black undercoat. They sell it at every auto parts store. It'll spray that in, it'll keep it a little more quiet, and it'll make it black again. Because a lot of people don't like seeing the, you know, one color in the front and not in the back. So I totally get that. But yeah, ditch that liner. There's nothing inside there that it's gonna hurt. And open that up. Cut it open a little bit better and bigger and make it fit that tire. You don't want that rubbing on your tire. It's gonna screw up the tread. It'll start chunking and stuff or slicing it, and that, you know, you don't wanna waste a several $100 tire, so. What else you
Does the
got?
steering box brace work with PSC and other types of steering boxes?
Okay, so I would need to know what model Jeep. If we're talking CJ, YJ, TJ, LJ, yes, it will. And on those, I don't have a steering box out in here right now, but basically what they do is they clamp loosely around the lower bearing right next to the sector shaft. And it's a little bit, you can't really see it on this one because it's a JK. But it clamps around there and then it ties over into the other side of the frame. And that's if you've got one of those, that's an important piece that you should definitely have because they just tend to rip right off the frame.
Why not place a taillight mount on the corner guards over the stock taillight hole so no tub cutting?
So that's a little bit difficult. Let's walk back here. So we got this one as close to the factory location as we could, but we've got, there are some details behind this that you can't see that we had to fit this box in the middle of. And right now I just have this tail light loosely put in here. And if you haven't seen the Matrix tail light, it's got a side marker light. It's very thin, and one side fits both, right? So you just flip it to move the side marker light. These are the reverse lights, and this is DOT legal. So by putting it inside here, it really protects it and makes this just an awesome product. So what else you got?
Have you done an elite kit on a JK with a 392 and an HP 870 trans? Will it work?
I have not. I'm sure it would. We've got customers that have done this with all types of engine conversions. You know, a lot of us go the LS platform, but I've got tons of customers that have done the Hemi platform, and you may have to mod a few things, but you know, the bottom line is that you can definitely make it work for sure. Yeah.
Steve Waterman asked, after purchasing the TJ to LJ kit, I also purchased the LJ cage. What hardware do I need for a soft top and upper windows?
Okay. So most of the time it's made to fit with the factory soft top. Okay. So if you're talking about an aftermarket soft top, then you may need some brackets. We do have. You go back over to our website and type in soft top. Let's go over there. You will see all the brackets that are available. Guys, our website is a huge resource. Soft top, bing. And this shows you all the soft top bracket kits that we offer. Okay. So you just find the one that you need, and you'll be good to go. Okay.
Mark Shaneman said, getting to the point where I need to deal with my exhaust on my LS LJ build.
Okay.
On your LS swapped LJ tracer builds, how do you run your exhaust? Duals, 2-inch, 3-inch, single out the passenger side rocker? Are you running cats?
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of questions. What engine platform was it?
LS LJ build.
LSLJ. Okay. So depends on where you live, whether you need to run cats. Okay. Cats definitely make it super difficult if you're trying to keep them in the stock location, right? Because they want them really close to right where they exit the exhaust manifolds. What we do is, just like I've done on Terremoto, it comes out the driver's side, there's a crossover tube that comes under, and they merge and go out and then out the side on the passenger side. So originally on Tracers, we did a dual exhaust, but it was too much heat over on the upper driver's side Johnny joint. So we rerouted, just like look, I like dialed this years and years ago on Terremoto. So we were debating whether we should reinvent the wheel, and we just went back to what's proven, you know, year after year and at KOH. And you're never, ever, ever going to run your Jeep as hard as we run something like this at KOH at full tilt, you know, for hour, you know, like 10, 12 hours, you know. So what else you got?
They can't hear the questions.
Again?
Yeah.
It didn't go to mute again by itself, did it?
Question from Jeff Loam. Do the Matrix taillights need a resistor, or is one built in?
So depending on the vehicle that you put them on, they do have a resistor built in. But if you're in an older vehicle that has the blinker, you're going to need to change that from the analog to the digital type, which is at the auto parts store. So typically it's like a 3, 4, or 5 pin flasher unit, and that'll take care of the fast flash. If you're still getting that, you can add a resistor, but these do have them built in for JK and JL.
Any update on Baja Boss 42-inch release? Dave Vincent.
Right now, we're trying to get some tires right now. They're in the process of going through the DOT, or Department of Transportation, approvals for the 42-inch Baja Boss MT. And I'm supposed to get a preset of those. They're, you know, like not available, but and I'm hoping to have those on, you know, here pretty quick, maybe even for KOH. So we'll see it. this is the beginning of the year, so I apologize. I haven't been able to sync up with all the guys over at Mickey Thompson. They are buried. Again, KOH is like overpowering everything, and they've got a lot of tires to get out to racers. So, I'll get an update for next Wednesday's show.
Chance Indigo said, Tony, I have a 2011 Jeep JK two-door, stock engine with GenRight hood vents. Any other recommendations for cooling the engine? I live in the desert and wheel in 110 plus temps in the summer.
Yes. Okay. So the question was about heat on a JK, right? And he's got a cooling problem. So you got a couple of things to consider. First is there anything blocking your grill? Okay. Here's what I find. I find people have put in all kinds of coolers. There are winch sticks up in front of it. You've got lights out on front. Get rid of all that crap. You have to have nothing blocking your grill. Next, if that's all good, then what you got to do is you got to make sure that no air of any kind can get over the top, around the sides, or around the bottom of your radiator. Air takes the path of least resistance. So make sure that every bit of air coming in here also goes straight through the radiator. If you have one of those aftermarket little screen things or any of that stuff, these need to be wide open. Get rid of anything you got sitting there. Let's see, if all of that applies, you're good on everything there, which I'd be amazed if it is, then you can go to, there's a coolant additive called water wetter, and that helps to cool it down. I'd be checking also to make sure that your voltage coming out of your alternator is as high as it can be. So like on a vehicle like this, I'm running at 14.1 volts. And what that does is it makes the fans run hard. Because when the fans turn on, they'll pull everything down to like 13.9. The lower that voltage goes, the slower the fans turn. So, or if you have a single fan, the slower the single fan turns. So these are all things that you need to check. Sometimes what happens is the relays get old and go bad. You can pop in a new relay, make sure the voltage is good. It's simple to check with a meter and see what your voltage is right at the fan. But these are great questions, and I'm telling you, these are stupid, simple fixes. And what happens is people, they put a winch on, they put lights on, they got all this crap, and slowly over time, it just gets worse and worse. So undo all that stuff and fix it, and you'll be a happy camper. What else you got?
0506 TJ LJ stretch. Where do you move the charcoal canister to?
Okay. So the charcoal canister can be moved within a 3-foot radius of the gas tank. Okay. So right now in your stock vehicle, it's in the passenger side rear corner. You're going to move that. You're going to take all the hoses, turn them around, and put them right over the driver's side underneath the passenger seat. So you just swing that around. Do not eliminate that. You need that charcoal canister. You'll get check engine codes right away. By the way, that charcoal canister is the thing that keeps all of the nasty fumes out of your garage, right? Because basically as the day heats up or cools down, your tank has to have somewhere to expand. So if you seal off your tank, it's going to blow up like one of those science projects that you did back in high school. So don't do that. You got to keep it vented, and the proper way to vent it is through the charcoal canister. What else you got?
Someone was just wondering what your first Jeep was, Tony.
My first Jeep was a 1987 Jeep YJ Wrangler. And I didn't know any better. 87 was the worst year to buy. It had the Peugeot 5-speed in it. And actually, I ran synthetic oil in that transmission, and I never, ever, ever had a problem with it. And eventually, I switched over to an LS with a turbo 350 in it. And today, that same Jeep is the Growler that Jamie's driving. And now it's got a LS3 with a 4L80, a maximum transmission's 4L80. So that Jeep is still alive and kicking and doing well. It just did the fastest time at our Real Hammers experience, number 2. So What else you
Last
got?
question is, what shock leaf spring combination would you recommend for roughly 450 pounds of weight in the rear? Would you recommend a shackle lift also? Thanks.
Okay, that's a great question. So first off, I'm a big believer in BDS leaf springs. These are the most affordable. They're military wrap, and I've had great luck with these springs over the years. You can get them in different arcs, so different amounts of lift to get the Jeep level to the way you want. That's what I just put in our little budget build. Now, you want to go a little higher tech, you want to spend some more money. Deaver Leaf Springs is your guy. They're right here in California. This guy custom makes them. He'll make them any length you want. He'll move the center pin. He'll do all kinds of cool stuff. And it's a 10 spring pack, a 10 leaf pack. So it gives you a really nice range of motion on that. And they use these in desert racing. So you're going to spend some coin for them, but if you're determined to stick with leafs, that's the highest end way to go. Right beyond that, so let me give you an idea. I think that set of leaf springs is like $1,000. For a little more money, you can be on coilover. So just keep that in mind as you're throwing money at it. But leaf springs are simple. They're affordable. You can probably get a set of leaf springs from BDS for $400 or $500, and you're rolling. So they're great. Oh, and then I think that was the shock combo. Right now, on our budget build, I'm running the Bilstein 5100, but both Fox and King also make replacement shocks. So the 5100, I think, is a 2-inch shock, and all those companies make a nice factory replacement 2-inch. What I would do is I kind of consider all of those pretty equal. So you're just going to have to check and see what's the most available for your vehicle. Okay.
Looks like we got one more question.
Sure.
JW Voiles asked, are there any good alternatives to the OEM J8 brake booster? They seem to be out of stock everywhere. Running 40s on a 1-ton for JKU.
Okay, so it's not going to be a direct bolt-in, but I would check out the Dodge Dakota or the Dodge 1500, Ram 1500. Before that J8 came around, the Dakota was the one to go get. But if that's in limited supply, then check out the Ram 1500. One of those will definitely work for you. So, yeah, great question. I haven't talked about that in a long time. What else we got?
One more. Why does so many coilover setups require suck down when regular coils don't?
So this is I'm trying to be politically correct here. So most people that put coilovers on don't do it right. So that's the first problem, because they've got the geometry all wrong, and the moment that they go to do something, the thing just opens up. This is part of the reason why we build in a lot of anti-squat. So I could talk about this topic for hours and hours. The reality is a coilover actually has a much better rebound control built into it. So it shouldn't open up like that. It's all a function of what's happening with the vehicle. So that means the rear control arms are too long, they're not in the right position, and it's doing like a dragster and trying to lift the front end. A lot of bad stuff going on. And unfortunately, everybody just thinks, hey, I get coilovers and buy some do-it-yourself tabs, and I'm going to put these things in there. It's not that simple. I mean, can you do it? Sure you can. And for the most part, your Jeep would probably perform better than it did. But is it going to be right? That's a different story. So, all right. It is 6 o'clock. I'm going to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And we will see you back here next Wednesday, the 18th, at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard. Thanks again, guys. Have a good night.